Welcome back to Royal Sussex Squad, where we dive deep into the royal mess and bring you the real story, unfiltered and unapologetic. If you love Prince Harry and Meghan and enjoy seeing the truth behind the palace's smoke and mirrors, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let's get into it. So King Charles was hospitalized last Thursday, and guess what? The palace kept it hush-hush until he was discharged. Why the secrecy? Isn't this the same palace that leaks every detail about Harry and Meghan, even when it's complete nonsense? But suddenly, when it's about the actual king's health, they want privacy, hypocrisy much? Not only that, but while Charles was stuck in Highgrove, Camilla was off at her own home, Ray Mill. You'd think, given his condition, his so-called supportive wife would be by his side, but no, she was too busy enjoying her country getaway, far from royal duties and ailing husbands. This is the same woman who was allegedly so vital to the monarchy's success. Looks more like abandonment, if you ask me. Fast forward to Tuesday, Charles makes an appearance at Windsor Castle, looking visibly frail. Yet the palace wants to pretend everything is fine. Events cancelled, last-minute changes, hushed hospital visits. Sounds like someone isn't being completely honest. Meanwhile, they're still pushing this Italy trip. Does it sound wise for a cancer-stricken king to be travelling overseas? Or is this just a desperate attempt to keep up appearances? And let's talk about the bigger issue here, Prince William. Because if Charles is really more unwell than they're letting on, that means Peggy the Unprepared is one step closer to the throne. And boy, oh boy, is that a disaster waiting to happen. The panic within the palace is palpable. They know William isn't ready. They know the monarchy will crumble under his rule, and they have no clue what to do. Meanwhile, they had a golden opportunity in Harry, a prince who was duty-driven, intelligent, and actually had the people's hearts. But no, the palace chose to protect William's fragile ego instead of keeping the best asset they had. Now look at them, scrambling. It's almost poetic, isn't it? While they schemed against Harry and Meghan, they failed to prepare for the inevitable decline of the monarchy under Charles and William. Now, with Charles' health uncertain and William's incompetence glaringly obvious, the House of Cards is teetering on the edge. Let's talk about trust, or rather, the complete lack of it in Buckingham Palace. The reason people are starting to side-eye the official statements about Charles's health isn't just because of the secrecy, it's because this institution has a long history of deception and cover-ups. We've seen it time and time again. The Queen's health was downplayed until she was literally on her deathbed. Prince Andrew, they swore up and down that he was innocent, until he settled a lawsuit that said otherwise. And let's not forget how they lied about Harry and Meghan, pushing false narratives while hiding the real mess behind palace walls. Now, the same cloak and dagger routine is happening with Charles. The pattern is clear. Whenever the royals have something to hide, they tighten the grip on information, hoping the public will just accept their carefully curated version of events. But the people aren't that gullible anymore. The palace has burned so many bridges with the public that even when they do tell the truth, no one believes them anymore. Could Charles's health be worse than they're letting on? Absolutely. The question isn't just what they're hiding, it's why they're hiding it. Let's get into Camilla's disappearing act. For all the propaganda about how she's Charles' rock and the so-called love of his life, she sure knows how to be conveniently absent when things get rough. When Charles was diagnosed with cancer, we saw zero emotion from Camilla. No heartfelt speech, no sign of stress, just business as usual. And now, when he was hospitalized, she wasn't by his side. Instead, she was relaxing in her own home, far away from the king. Imagine if it were Meghan who had done something like this. The British press would have dragged her through the mud for being a bad wife. But Camilla? Silence. This is the woman they fought so hard to rebrand as a loyal consort, someone who earned her place. But let's be honest. Camilla has always looked out for herself first. Her separate home is proof of that. It's like she knew this was coming and set up a little retreat for when things got tough. Now, with Charles's health in question, Camilla is strategically pulling back because she knows what's coming next. And if she's not sticking around for Charles in his time of need, who is she really loyal to? Herself. Always has been, always will be. Let's be real. Prince William is not ready for the throne, and everyone knows it. The monarchy has spent decades trying to groom him for the role, yet here we are, with a future king who lacks vision, leadership, and basic charisma. Just look at how he handled his father's cancer diagnosis. Instead of stepping up showing unity or offering some kind of reassurance. William has been MIA, focusing on his own personal issues. When he does appear in public, his awkward and robotic demeanor only fuels the doubt that he can actually lead. And let's not forget that Harry was the one who was naturally suited for leadership. He thrived under pressure, had international appeal, and connected with people on a human level. The monarchy let their jealousy and petty politics push out the one prince who could have actually modernized the institution. Now they're stuck with William, who lacks the emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, and public goodwill necessary to hold the monarchy together. The monarchy thought they were securing their future by sabotaging Harry and Meghan. Instead, they've only made their own downfall inevitable. If there's one thing the British media excels at, it's double standards. When Meghan was pregnant and dared to cradle her baby bump, they called it attention-seeking. When Kate did the same, oh, how maternal. When Meghan took maternity leave, they called her lazy. But when Kate vanished for months, silence. Now, with Charles's health in question, the media is tiptoeing around the issue, desperately trying to downplay the seriousness of his condition. If this were Meghan and Harry, the tabloids would be ruthlessly speculating and throwing out wild theories, but when it comes to the king, suddenly discretion matters. The hypocrisy is astounding, and let's not forget, when Harry shared his own struggles with mental health, he was mocked. When Meghan opened up about suicidal thoughts, the British media dismissed it. But now, when Charles needs understanding and compassion, they're all about privacy and respect. The press has spent years smearing and attacking Harry and Meghan, all while protecting and covering for the monarchy's real failures. And guess what? It's backfiring. The people are waking up, and they're not buying the media's biased royal propaganda anymore. With Charles's health uncertain, William's incompetence glaringly obvious, and the public growing tired of royal scandals, we have to ask, how much longer can this institution survive? Let's face it, the monarchy isn't what it used to be. Queen Elizabeth held it together through sheer force of will, but without her the cracks are impossible to ignore. Charles is not beloved, William is not trusted, and Harry, the one royal who could have brought in a new era, is living happily in California, thriving outside the royal bubble. The next few years will determine whether the monarchy adapts or crumbles, but looking at their track record, do we really think they'll make the right choice? Or will they continue to sabotage themselves from within, blinded by ego and tradition? The monarchy is standing on shaky ground, and unless they make drastic changes, it's only a matter of time before it all comes crashing down. So, what do you think? Is the palace hiding something major about Charles's health? Are they terrified of William's reign? Let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, smash that like button, subscribe, and if you want to support the channel, consider sending a super thanks. Until next time, keep questioning, keep thinking, and stay royally aware.